Hi, this is Neil Boland for Australian Musician. Let's get into the world of strings. If you've never bought strings for your guitar before, this is the video for you. Basically, guitar strings are a consumable product and a replaceable product. So you put them on, your guitar sounds great. After a while, they wear out, you put them on. And that cycles for the rest of your life. That's what you do with guitar strings. There are two types of guitar string categories, just like there are in acoustic guitars, nylon strings and steel strings. This is a steel string guitar here, featuring steel strings. Nylon strings you'll find on a classical guitar, or a flamenco guitar, or a student guitar. It's just a type of string. It's a very clear, plasticky kind of material. It looks a little bit like fishing line on the treble side. It's a clear string. It's very soft to the touch. It's a very soft tone as well. So that's for your nylon string guitar. Steel strings, obviously made of steel, or they can be made of nickel, which is a very, very common thing, and various alloy metals as well to give you different tones as well. But quite often in the acoustic world, you'll see the expression phosphor bronze. That's a very, very common string, and you'll see other different materials for different tones as well, but quite often you'll see phosphor bronze. That is your bread and butter string. Okay, so that is strings. One thing to note, in the guitar shop you hear a lot of questions, people coming in with a nylon string guitar, and they might have mistakenly put some steel strings on the nylon string. Can't do that. The nylon string guitar is only constructed to actually take the tension of nylon strings. Steel strings, higher tension, it'll pull the neck forward, it'll be very, very hard to play. The other way can work as a stopgap solution. Some people will put a set of nylon strings on a steel string guitar if they're really, really in trouble, but I wouldn't recommend performing like that. The tension's actually too low and the strings don't really stay in tune that well. But you know, by all means, it's not going to hurt a steel string guitar with nylon strings on it as well. The other thing is too, if you break a string, all you got to do is just pop into your local retailer and pick up a spare. It's actually a really good idea when you buy a full set of strings. If you do have a string that does commonly break, just get a few spares of that. They're only a couple of bucks each. So that is strings. The other thing I've got to cover too is different windings. On nylon string guitars, you'll see that the treble side, which is this side of the fretboard, because that's where the higher notes are, you'll be able to see through those strings. They are the see-through nylon strings. And what looks like steel strings on the bass side, they're actually nylon all the way across. So on a nylon string guitar, nylon all the way across, except the bass side is actually wrapped in steel. Steel string guitars, obviously steel right across, and that is steel wrapped in steel. The wrap here is what you call a round wound in most common cases. Majority of strings are round wound strings, whether it's on an acoustic or an electric. You'll also find on some guitars, particularly the jazzier style instruments, you'll find flat wound strings, which have a very, very warm tone. The trade-off with a flat wound string is you get a warm tone, but they get very high tension, so that you can't bend them like the blues guitar players can much. But to compromise for that, you can get semi-flats. So if you're a guy that plays jazz in the lobby bar on a Friday night, you can do that. But if it's a Sunday afternoon blues gig, you can take the same guitar, and with a little bit of effort, you can bend those strings around. But the most common thing is round wound strings. So that is strings. Head on into your local retailer and check them out.